All right, all right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Elohim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad. The Hakim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Amwan back at you with another lesson. And what I want to go into real quick. All right. It's November 1st. The crash out about to be real. All right. And I'm going to show a couple videos. All right. And, it's about to get real ugly through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Can't wait to see what is going to be floating all over the media. Okay. But let me play this first video.
Just to make, I just wanted to come real fast just to make this video, just to make something very, very clear to the white man. Black Americans do not care about your government shutdown, and Black Americans do not care about you taking away our EBT and our government assistance, because Black Americans never depended on the American government to take care of us and feed us, because we never could. We were never able to depend on the government, in spite of what you may say and what you may try to force us to believe. So you can sit back and you can mock, you can laugh, and you can think that you're about to starve us to death. But I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you. The delectable crackers and cheese. We will make it happen if we have to. Trust and believe me. And if it takes this government shutdown for Black people to finally come from under the government and understand that we don't need to be paying our taxes into this government, what we really need to be doing is taking care of one another, buying land and growing our own food and building our own nation. If this government shutdown and starvation is what it's going to take, then let the party begin. It's Black power, baby, and we rise. I just wanted to come real fast just to make this video, just to make.
Which this woman, a straight demon. She's been out for quite some time now, coming out every year with some demonic ass shit she always doing. She was actually one of the women about 2-3 years ago that she was actually threatening the apostles. She was actually mentioning their names and everything, which, this lady got hella demons on her, you know what I'm saying? And, she's just there for, for the bug out at the end of the day. All right. But it's spiritual what she's telling you, because the fact that she's saying that they're going to eat, all right, people, okay, is very spiritual, because cannibalism is going to come back, all right, to this place, all right, if not already here, on the low, which people are doing that on the low. All right, as a matter of fact, let me grab me a couple of scriptures based on that. All right. And we're going to keep sounding like a broken record, bringing out the same scriptures. All right. But it's all spiritual. All right. This is Lamentations 4:9. It says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away stricken through for the want of fruits of the field, and the hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. All right. So you're going to have our women that are in the siege secretly. They're going to be eating their own children. Okay. Just like it tells you in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Okay. They are literally going to be secretly in the siege. All right. Which, a siege is when you are on a lockdown, which we're into that lockdown. Okay. And it's going to only get worse. All right. But you're going to see a lot of action taking place with these demons. Okay. And this is what's going to come to America. Okay. A lot of famine. All right. A lot of cannibalism is going to be brought out in front of your eyes. All right. And the fact that she was talking about that, she said that no black people never depended on the government is a whole bullshit lie, because when you break it, matter of fact, let me see the probability, all right, of how many, all right, people are on SNAP. All right. What's the probability of the minority being on SNAP benefits? My bad. I should have added benefits at the end. All right. It says, let me see what it says. While white individuals make up the largest absolute group of SNAP recipients, whew, look at that. Here it is that Esau try to play us out, but it's showing you that the whites, all right, are the largest group of SNAP recipients. Minorities have a higher probability of participating in the program relative to their share of the total U.S. population due to persistent economic disparities. All right. So, all right, there's definitely, let me see, it says fact checking a viral chart on U.S. food stamps recipients' race. That came out 3 days ago. Let's see what it says here. All right. It says listed 36 groups of people. Okay, the groups were labeled by nationality such as Afghan, Somalia, Iraqi, along with the racial groups white, black, and native. The chart appeared to show that Afghan people were the largest group receiving SNAP benefits at 45.6%, followed by Somalia 42.4%. All right, which a lot of them Somalians be into that cannibalism. All right, so they're about to go back into that. It says in Iraqi, 34.8% white people represented on the chart with the U.S. flag were third to last at 8.6%. All right, I believe that's a lie. Okay, it says the federal government shutdown will start on October 1st. All right, when we're already in November, is the cause of the looming SNAP funding lapse. All right, I wanted to see what was the number that they were giving for the Judites. All right, see, constantly around me, it looks like Judah and Issachar are one of the top ones that are being and it ain't just Issachar, it's a lot of Asher also, that's caught up in it. All right, but you see a lot of, like I said, Judites and so-called Hispanics, all right, that are constantly the ones that are using this EBT, okay, and hey man, they're in for a treat, all right, because Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Salaki, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said he was gonna end that, he was gonna dead that, all right. As a matter of fact, let's grab. This is Isaiah 3:1. It says, "For behold, the Lord Yahweh Shah, the Lord Yahweh of hosts, does take away from Jerusalem and from Judah, all right, northern kingdom and southern kingdom, the state of the staff, the whole state of bread, and the whole state of water." Okay, let's grab that in the NLT. It says, "The Lord Yahweh Shah, the Lord Yahweh of hosts of heaven's armies, will take away Jerusalem and Judah, everything they depend on, every bit of bread and every drop of water." So what you see happening before your eyes is actual prophecy, you see, of what's to happen even, more. Okay, and this is why you're about to start seeing, America really collapse, because like I've said in previous videos, man, these stores, all right, they're gonna end up shutting down because the lack of people coming in and spend that money. All right, they depend on those SNAP benefits. The first and the 15th, those are their greatest numbers that they basically bring in those days. All right, because that's millions and millions of dollars. I did a video with the article was saying there's about 60 million people on SNAP benefits. All right, and and 40 million of them are about to be cut off. So imagine how much money these stores are going to lose. All right, which is either going to lead to a lot of looting. All right, or because they're afraid of the looting, all right, what they're going to do is they're not going to buy as much food for the store because they don't want it to go to waste, because that's what's going to end up happening. Then they're going to have to put it at a low price, which today when I went to the store, this is randomly too, from one day to another, because I'm always in ShopRite, getting something for my wifey, because she pregnant, so she gets a little craving something. Forget about it. I gotta go get it. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I realized from yesterday to today, I seen that literally the prices went up, skyrocketing. For a little, I think it was, I want to say like a little bottle of olive oil, which that's when I really realized it today, because I went to go grab me a little bottle of olive oil. The cheapest that I found one was $5 and almost $6. All right, which I was lucky to find that one, because all the other ones, yo, they were at like $25. Then you had like, regular oils, they went completely up. So what made me think about it was like, damn, they're trying to attack the things that we need the most to cook the food first. You know what I'm saying? So here it is, they're trying to attack the oil, because you need oil to cook your food. You see? And then eventually what's going to happen is the foods that we like the most are going to go skyrocketing. You see? Because now these stores have to make up for all the money they're about to lose out on. You see? So that's going to make inflation go high, real high. You see? And pretty much with these people getting cut off their SNAP benefits, pretty much only people that have, actual dollars in their pocket are going to be able to shop. And, those that got a decent bank account, you know, are going to be able to shop. But because these people constantly lean, all right, on Egypt, all right, that's going to be their confusion, and they're not going to be able to go to these stores, man. And this is what's going to cause looting, riots, food riots. We're hearing about it all over the social media. They even said that they're going to start bringing in, these homeland security, martial law troops into, these stores, just to play it safe and nobody going in there and looting them, which I don't know if they're going to end up doing that or not. All right, but it's on the agenda. Okay, this is Isaiah 31, and let's take it from 1. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. You see? And this is what the Lord just said in Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, man, that he's going to take from Judah and from Israel, right? From Jerusalem, everything that they depend on. You see, all that help that they have, whether it don't even have to just be SNAP benefits, man. It could just be all these different programs that Jake is constantly on. They're taking away your Medicaid, they're taking away your Social Security, they're taking away these SNAP benefits. They taking everything that our people are connected to, all right, which is all planned by design and ultimately of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because he is putting the spirit on these devils to do that. All right, because great judgment is coming to those, great misery is coming to those that walked around in pride in the last days. All right, for all unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. You see, they didn't want to hearken on to the word. They didn't want to believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So this is the punishment for that. You see, but it says, woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many. Okay, and going into horses, and that's all power. They trust in Egypt because they're full of power. You see, because they're under the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. All right, that they shall go to the oppressor for the want of all things. All right, as a matter of fact, let's grab that in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. This is Deuteronomy 28, and give me 1 second. This is, where is it at? I'm always passing right by it. Yeah, this is passing it. Oh, there you go. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 48. And it says, I'll take it from 47. It says, because thou serve not the Lord Yahweh thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. Okay. It says, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee. Okay. So they're gonna go, that's pretty much why they're starving you at the end of the day, man. All right, because they want you to bow down to them and go to them for the want of all things, and especially when you take away food sources, man, you have total control of the people. All right, but see, we're not going to worry about these things because as the scriptures tell you, all right, the Lord said, my servants shall eat, but they shall be hungry. My servants shall drink and they shall be hungry. You see? And then we have to remember that everything written aforetime is written for our learning. So all the accounts that we have in the scriptures, man, you had miracles constantly being done to those that believe. All right. You had ravens, that were sending food out to prophets, giving food to them through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, feeding our people. Those things are going to happen in these last days again. You got these doomsday preppers and shit like that are constantly, stacking up their houses with food, which they're going to become targets, and like it tells you in Second Ezra the 15th chapter, all right, that a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, okay, because they're gonna be in that spirit of survival of the fittest, okay, because of the lack of bread. You see, people ain't gonna have the actual food sources, okay, that they want, so they're gonna start looting these rich neighborhoods, going to the rich because they know that they're stacking up. They're gonna be watching on Instagram and seeing who the hell is posting up all their food, being prideful. These people gonna be waiting in parking lots, waiting for you to get back to your car and then just straight up run up on you and take your goods. You see, these are the things that are coming to America, man. And if these people don't repent, you're in big trouble. All right. And we can see that these people don't want to repent. That's why that judgment is coming swiftly upon them. You see? So going back to Isaiah 31, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many. Okay. And in horsemen because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words. So the Lord is telling you he's going to bring total disaster upon this place, man. You see, he's going to bring evils upon these people. And what does it tell you in Isaiah? I mean, Salakia, in Second Ezra, might as well just go to it. All right. Second Ezra 16 and 20. All right. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap. As a matter of fact, let me go up to 19. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, man. These things are sent, all right, to get your attention, all right, for the wickedness that you have done, for you to go back and repent to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But of all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. See, these people, all right, they see these things happening, but see, they still won't turn back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They still want to go out there and try to, provide something for Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving, try to provide something for the Halloween party this weekend that they're going to throw. You see? They're going to continually be in their wickedness, man, and not be mindful of the scourges that's being brought upon them. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and what's going to happen is that because stores are not going to have them SNAP benefit buyers anymore, all right, things will become a little bit cheaper. Food will become cheaper because ain't nobody buying it. It's going to skyrocket. for a little bit, because hyperinflation is always going to be there. All right. Not especially in the time that we're in the middle of World War III, basically, so whenever there's war, inflation goes up, you see. But when they see that nobody's buying and nobody can afford these things, they're going to be brought down cheap. They're going to be low. Okay. They're going to be brought down low because, again, when, they have expiration dates. So when these things get closer to expiration dates and they see that nobody buys, they have to bring it down to a certain price, and it's going to be priced at very low price. You see, so it says, victual shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, and these people are already in that great confusion mindset. You see, because they've been bamboozled, all right, by the cruel Lord. You see, they've been bamboozled by their king. Okay, they thought that here it was that they thought their king was going to save them, make their nation safe again. All right, but here it is. He's actually feeding them lies. You see, so now they're going to be in for the okey doke. Okay, so it says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Okay, so going back, all right, to Isaiah 31 and 2, it says, yet he also is wise, talking about Yahweh, right? And will bring evil and will not call back his words. Yeah, because once the Lord, this was written. So was written is faithful and true. Was written has to come to pass, as the scriptures tell you, not a jot nor tittle, all right, shall wise pass until all things be fulfilled. You see? So these things have to happen, man, to prove that the word of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai is pure and is right. Okay. And it's really true righteous judgment upon you, you see, because you didn't want to hearken. Okay. So it says, and will not will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. Okay. Now the Egyptians are men and not power, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that help shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall and they shall all fail together. Okay, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing, okay, Egypt failing in the sight of these people, man. This is why they're going crazy. That's why they're crashing out, because they see their kingdom falling. They see their benefits being taken away. You see, the good old days is gone. The mirth of the land is gone. Okay, let's grab Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, all right, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with a covering but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk down to go into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. And what's the mouth? All right, the mouthpiece of the Lord is the what? The prophets. See, you're supposed to go down to the prophets and ask for counsel, man, so we could give you the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, the keys of salvation to be able to, have a fighting chance, If you don't have the word of the Lord, you don't have the names, there is no fighting chance for you. You're going to have to go through this famine. You're going to have to go through the troubles that's coming upon this place, man, because you didn't want to take heed of the word. It says to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Okay. And that's what's happening. These people are in total confusion right now. This is Isaiah 19:2. It says, and I will set Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right. And you seeing that happen. Okay. You got these damn, these Edomites, they losing it also. It ain't just Jake. Okay. But you see Esau losing his damn mind. All right. Along with our people. Okay. and they're coming up again. They're going to end up having a civil war against each other because our people are considered Egyptians too. All right. This is talking about, Esau going after Esau. But, all right, our people that don't want to follow in the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you're considered an Egyptian also. You're considered these heathens also. You see? It says, and they shall fight every one against his brother and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. All right. And this is why if Satan cast out Satan, shall their kingdom not stand, man. This is why this place is being brought down to naught, because it's all of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. It's the elites bringing it down by design, but who's the one that designed it? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and put the spirit on these devils to do that. You see? Because they know that they have but a short time and their time is up. So they have to make these moves because the Lord is shortening the days for the elect's sake. Time is flying, man. All right. Every time you look, Monday comes and boom, we're in Sunday again. There's no other way around it. Okay. It says, and I will set Egyptian against Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards, and to the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. You see, you've been bamboozled. All right, thinking that Mr. DT was going to be there for you and help you out, but he's there really to destroy you, man. Okay, it says a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai and the Lord of hosts. Okay, and the waters shall fail from the sea, and the rivers shall be wasted and dried up. All right, which I ain't got to get into that part. All right, should have stopped it right there, the one above it. Okay. But again, all right, the Lord is taking away all these benefits for a reason, man. All right, because you chose not to walk in the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay. This is 30:8 in Isaiah. It says, now go write it before them in a table and note it in a book. Okay, and that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. All right. And we're making it plain upon the tables, man, by telling you the word, telling you these things is going to happen. All right. That's what a prophet is. A prophet is supposed to prophesy something that happens before it happens, man. And then you're going to realize that you were among a true prophet when that time comes, that it comes to pass. Okay. It says that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the word Yahweh, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. You see? And that's what they want us to do. They want us to tell you lies. We're not about to sit here and sugarcoat none of that, man. All right. Let's grab this, Isaiah 28. Okay. And let's grab it from 14. All right. It says, wherefore hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, ye scornful men. All right. And that's what these people are, scoffers, man. Here it is. You scoffed and laughed at us when we was telling you over and over these things was going to happen. But you look at you now. Now you want to switch up your energy. You got to keep that same energy your ass had when we was telling you these things were coming to pass. Right? It says, because ye have said we have made a covenant with death. Yeah, you wanted to make a covenant with death and hell. All right. You wanted to listen to your oppressor, man. When your oppressor is all about nothing but death and hell. Okay, he's here to destroy everything that comes in his path. So why would you follow after this devil? You see? It says, because you have said we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come onto us. And that's the mentality these people got, man. That it's not going to come onto them. You see? It says, our refuge, Salaki, it says, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge. You see, they depended on these lies. They believed these lies. They covered themselves with these lies, man. And on the falsehood, we have hid ourselves. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. All right, which that's talking about Yahushai. But how is that being brought upon you, man? How is he laying it in Zion for a foundation? All right, by the mouth of the prophets, because we are preaching Yahushai. You see, so we're laying it down on the tables for you, man, for you to understand what's coming. But as the scripture always says, all right, ye err not knowing these scriptures, right? And not only that, as the scriptures tell you in Acts, okay, that ye always did resist the Holy Ghost. Okay, that goes all the way back to the ancient time, man. Being those that didn't believe, all right. Here it is that when Yahushua was being crucified, you had our own people that were basically also agreeing to crucify him. And they said, what? Let the blood be on our hands and Salakia. Let the blood be on our hands and on our children. You see? So now you have to reap what you sow. Now you have to keep that same energy you've always had from generation to generation. All right. And you have to suffer for what you said, man. Every idle word shall be held accountable in the day of judgment, man. You see? So now you have to account for those words that you said, man. You said that let it be on our hands, the blood, let it be on our children. Okay, well, that's what's happening now. You see? It's going to be upon you by getting these benefits taken away from you. It's going to be on your children by watching your children starve in front of you, all right? And you committing cannibalism, man. It says, a sure foundation, he that believeth not shall not make haste. Okay, they're not going to put off from day to day. They're going to seek the Lord while he may be found. Okay, it says, judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to plummet, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled. Okay, and your agreement with hell shall not stand when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, when then ye shall be trodden down by it. Okay, and that's what's about to happen, man. These benefits, today's the first, that crash out about to begin. Okay, and you're about to be trampled down by it. You're about to feel the pain and the wrath of the Lord, and that's not even anything. That's just a scratch on the surface. Hey, that's just him taking away benefits through an actual card. You know what happens when the sown places? Let's grab that. Okay, this is Second Esdras. All right. This is Second Esdras 7 and Slakia. I went too far. There we go. Slakia, I meant to say 6. Second Esdras 6 and 22. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay. And the trumpet shall give a sound, when every man hear it, they shall suddenly be afraid. All right. And the trumpet is us on these highways and hedges, saying the same thing over and over and over and over again for years and years and years, starting with the elders and apostles. All right. Which told you this 35 plus years ago, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. All right. And then it says, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. Yeah. For the lack of bread. You see? Because the dollar's collapsing and these people are in a frenzy. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Survival of the fittest out here, man. You see? So they're going to end up fighting against each other. Actual friends, you know? And people that were actual enemies, all right, are gonna they're gonna become friends in the siege, man. You know, sticking together and trying to, you know, kill off people to try to find, you know, food, you know, which they ain't gonna find food because there's gonna be a great famine. So they're gonna have to, pretty much gang up together. All right. Those that were enemies, they're gonna gang up together and become friends just to go out there and hunt true souls, man. All right. Because they out here turned into a damn zombie, basically, and doing zombie-like shit, you know. It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall suddenly be afraid. And at that time shall friends fight one against another, like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours shall they not run. Okay. But again, the point is, all right, the sown places are suddenly going to be unsown. Okay. Meaning that there's not going to be anything in these stores anymore, man. These places that were once full of food, all right, are going to be gone, empty, whether it be through riot wars, looting, whatever it is. Okay. Or whether it be that the stores ain't buying. All right. That's what's coming to America. Egypt is failing. All right. And like I said, it's gonna be a whole lot of cannibalism here, man. This is Baruch 2:2, and it says to bring upon us great plagues, such as never under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem, according to the things that were written in the law of Moses, that a man should eat the flesh of his own son and the flesh of his own daughter. You see, that's coming. Okay. And then you had this devil woman. She was talking about, oh, we should stick together and flee. You could try to run all you want. You think that famine is just going to be here, man? Famine is going to be worldwide. The Lord is bringing that worldwide. Is he going to hit Babylon the Great the hardest with it? Absolutely. Because that's where all our people's at. And the Lord's going to start with the nation of Israel first and then destroy these damn heathens. Okay. But this is a worldwide thing. It don't matter where you go. All right. I hear that all the time. People trying to, oh, I need to get up out of here. I need to go back to my roots. Yeah, okay. It don't matter where you go, it's gonna be the same exact thing, if not worse in those other countries, man. Because these other countries are even worse with poverty. At least here you got food banks and shit like that, man. Which those are gonna be out the picture also. Okay, but you go to these foreign countries, man, they ain't got no damn food banks. The only way they're gonna be able to eat is if they have, natural foods of the earth. Okay, but here it is, the Lord is smiting these places with tempests, with storms. Look at Jamaica. Jamaica just got smacked. The hell do you got left in there? You ain't got nothing that you could pick off the tree. The trees are on the floor. The waters have destroyed everything that's on the floor. And with all that water that's come up, it is made it diseased in there. So these people are not going to be able to eat the food off the trees, man. Which that's going to the rest of these other tribes too that's around that area, man. You got Simeon there. You got Manasseh there. You got Ephraim. You got Levi. That's 5 different tribes right there in the islands within themselves, man. And every single one of them islands was just getting smacked by that hurricane. And that's of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's the wrath of the Lord, man. You see? So let me hear what her ass was saying again. Come on.
To make this video, just to make something very, very clear to the white man. Black Americans do not care about your government shutdown, and Black Americans do not care about you taking away our EBT and our government assistance.
And they shouldn't really be caring about it. You know why? Because our people already, used to that. We used to living in poverty, so taking that shit away from us ain't really nothing at the end of the day. It shouldn't bother you because we've always grew up on poverty and not being able to afford things, man. But see, you guys got too comfortable in Egypt, all right, and getting too comfortable. It has made it your shame. You see, your confusion. You see, and it was all played by design because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai knew that you was gonna get too comfortable, man. Okay.
and feed us because we never could. We were never able to depend on the government in spite of what you may say and what you may try to force us to believe.
Yeah, that's a lie. You definitely depend on the government on a high level. Because if you ain't depend on the government, what the hell is you bringing out this video for? All right, keep your mouth shut and just go do what you got to go do. But see, the majority that depends on the government is these women. And that's why these women are about to catch pure hell out here, man. Okay? Most of you that catch this hell is going to be women. All right? Not talking about the few sisters that believe. We talking about these non-believers, man. All right? As a matter of fact, let's grab that real quick.
You can mock.
You can mock. She talking about you can sit back and you can mock, but you just mock the prophets all day long. You know? That's the main ones that was being mocked. The prophets on the highways and hedges, you calling us retarded and stupid and bums and worthless men, you know, that don't have no life. See, we gave up our lives, all right, to be, you know, so Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai can have mercy upon us, man. What did you give up? What did you give up in your life? Nothing. You see, you wanted a what? Live in pleasure. So she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Okay. Salaki, I forgot what I was about to grab. It'll come back to me.
I just wanted to come over able to depend on the government in spite of what you may say and what you may try to force us to believe. So you can sit back and you can mock, you can laugh, and you can think that you're about to starve.
And you are. That's exactly what they're doing. They're laughing because you have been made a laughing stock onto the nations. And the one that's laughing the most is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, pursuant to Proverbs, the 1st chapter. He said, I will mock, I will laugh when your calamity come. I will mock when your fear cometh. The Lord is going to laugh, and then you're going to try to call upon the name of the Lord, and he going to laugh even harder because he gonna watch you scream. He gonna watch you literally yell, man. The Lord wants to see you suffer. He wants to see you cry, okay, in these last days because you chose not to fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and chose not to hearken onto the word, man.
Us to death, but I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast.
The way she going in on it too, you could just tell she got hella demons on her, man. And I told you, this is not the first time this lady has come out. She comes out every year with something heavy, with heavy demons on her. All right, the Lord's been bugging her out every year more and more and more. It all started when she was talking about Apostle Tahar and Apostle Gabar. I would not forget that video. She was talking some creepy shit because them demons in her, all right, they know who we are. So they'll mention our names and everything. And ever since that time, every year she's just been going through worse demons. Okay?
I just wanted to come real fast just to make this video.
Come on.
I just want to, you can laugh and you can think that you're about to starve us to death, but I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you, the delectable crackers and cheese. We will make it happen if we have to, trust and believe me. And if it takes this government shutdown for black people to finally come from under the government.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. The fact that they think they're going to come together is wild because the Lord is not going to allow that. And as a matter of fact, they're coming out with a new date. I think it's somewhere in November towards the end, from like the 27th to something to the 5th, that they're all trying to take, like everybody's trying to take 3 days off, you know, to boycott all these goods. Man, listen, man, they ain't worried about that. They is not worried about you and your protests or you trying to boycott, okay? Because their plan is in motion. Their plan is set, all right? And the judgment of the Lord is coming. And because the Lord is allowing them, as it tells you in Isaiah, the 10th chapter, right? Verse 6, all right? That he was going to send them against a hypocritical nation and he was going to give them charge. So it's already set. The Lord is going to give them charge to allow them to do this to you, man. You see? This is why you need the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai if you don't want to go through any of that. Because the Lord's going to preserve you and no evil shall touch him. As a matter of fact, let's grab that real quick. That's in, I believe it was in Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter. Yeah, it says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh. Okay, and there shall no torment touch them. Okay, so as long as we do what we're supposed to do, no torment is going to touch us. All right, but see, the torment is going to be put on you. Okay, matter of fact, let me grab it. Torments. Of course. Come on. There you go. Torments. Give me 1 second. It was frozen. I didn't want to allow it to go through. All right. This is 2nd Ezra 9:9. It says, then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. You see? And the worst one is going to be, okay, these women. All right. Let's grab this. This is Isaiah 32. And all right. Let me just grab it from the top. It says, behold, the king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. A man shall be as a hiding place from the wind. That's why they need a man, a true man of the Lord. All right. Because he's going to be able to hide you, okay, from the wind, which the wind represents the destruction, and a cover from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. And the eyes of them that shall see, shall not be dim, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken. The heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly. The vile person, which is talking about Esau, shall be no more called liberal. All right, because he had you in that trick bag. All right, you thought he was that generous guy, right? You thought he was generous, giving you your SNAP benefits, right? Trying to make America great again, okay? But that vile person shall no more be called liberal or generous, right? Because the horns is coming out of his devil's head, man. You see, you really see him for what he is. Nor the churl said to be bountiful. All right, for the vile person will speak villainly. You see, and he's doing that right now by taking away your benefits. And his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy. Okay, again, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but he imagining how to throw you into a pit. Okay, so when you get bit by the snake, who's gonna pity a charmer? Who we ain't gonna pity it. We ain't gonna sit there and cry about it for you. We told you not to trust thine enemy, man, and you went and trusted them anyway. You see? And his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord Yahweh. Okay? And to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. Whoo! You see? That's why he took away your benefits. And he did it the smart way. He did it with SNAP. All right. And next is going to be the actual food, man. Because he's going to cut off all the food supply at one point. All right. Which is going to be of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You see? And he going to end up, and that's why there's going to be great cannibalism upon this place, man. Right? Let me just jump down to the point. Rise up at 9, right? It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice. See, these women were at ease, you know, having the benefits of Esau. Okay. They were at ease, showing their bodies on OnlyFans, making, thousands, if not millions of dollars. Okay. But what good is all that money if they taking away the things that you need the most? What, you gonna eat a car? You know, you ain't gonna eat a car. You need food to survive. So you popping yourself online for money, all right, ain't gonna get you your food. It might get you a brand new car. It might get you a house. But what you gonna put in your fridge? You see, what you gonna put in your body? Nothing. Uh-huh. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. And you're supposed to give ear to who? The prophets that's on these highways and hedges telling you to get right with the Lord and repent. Okay. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Okay. Everything's going to fail. Okay. The things that you benefited off, they're going to fail. And you're going to be brought to what you truly always been. Nothing. You see? Because you wanted to live in your feminist ways. All right. The Lord took that away from you. He taking all that feminism out of here, man. You see? And showing you that you were nothing without a man. You were just something according to the eyes of Esau, according to the society of Esau, according to social media. All right. But to the eyes of the Lord, you were trash. You see? It says, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the venture shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the cheats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Okay? But hey, that's not gonna happen, man. All right, you're not gonna be blessed with anything anymore, man. Those benefits have been taken away from you for a reason, because here it is that the Lord allowed you to compass up above a man. Okay, what did he say? I put let's grab that. Um, a woman should compass a man. All right, a woman should compass a man. But that was for a little bit of a time period, man.
A woman shall compass a man, from Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 20.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate it. All right. This is let me get it from the KJV. I'm gonna pass it. Matter of fact, I'll just read what I see here. It says, how long wilt thou go about, Jeremiah 31 and 22, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord has created a new thing in earth, that a woman shall compass a man. All right. He allowed that for a little bit of a time period. All right. But at the end of the day, man is what rules, man. All right. The Lord said that in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, man, that a man shall rule over you. Okay. You don't see women presidents and shit like that. Okay. You always see a man in power. All right. Because the Lord deal with men at the end of the day. But see, he put you in that little trick bag thinking that you was going to compass a man and that was going to be forever. All right. And here it is. The Lord deaded that. You see, he did that shit just to destroy you, man. Okay. Just so you can grow that pride in you to be destroyed. Okay. So those days are over, man, for you women. And now you're truly going to have to eat your words. And now you're going to try to run back to men. All right. And nobody going to want you. You know, your value's done. Your value's gone. Okay. And you damn sure ain't going to be able to come to no man of the Lord, because we're going to remember all the bullshit you done said, all the mocking you did. And we just going to let you die off. Unless Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah put the spirit on us to deal with you. All right. You're going to die off. You know, and that's going to be a beautiful thing to see. You know, it's about time that these women learn their lesson, okay? Because they are the most proudful or above Esau now, you know? So, as the scriptures say, you know, I'll end it with that basically. All right. This is 2nd Esdras. Damn, what is it with all these apps just freezing? It's lucky. This is 2nd Esdras 8 and 50. And I'll end it off with that. Okay. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. You see, you wanted to walk in great pride. Now you have to suffer the consequences of great miseries. Okay. So, hey, with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloyim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith, enduring as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.